Testing. Testing. Alright, good. Alright, good. So, today I will be doing some Innistrad Chaos Draft. Because that sounds like a ton of fun. Love me some Innistrad format. Alrighty. What are we looking at here? This is a Eldritch Moon pack. We got, let's see, Self-Mill, some Graph Rats. There's Voldarin Pariah, which has Madness and is a sack outlet. Hey, Tarek. It's not my birthday, but welcome. So I'm thinking humans is probably the most universal theme. And a 5-mana 4/4 that potentially gets me a legendary is really good. Voldarin Pariah, though, is a board wipe. I think humans and vampires are probably the most ubiquitous themes. We'll take Voldarin Pariah. Alright, we got a original Innistrad pack now, and I really want to take Barter in Blood, because I think that card is great. There's also Driver of the Dead, Predator's Gambit if I want to stay in black. Sissia, welcome. Sigma, how's it going? I think I'm going to go with Barter in Blood. Another original Innistrad pack. And we've got Stromkirk Patrol, if we want to stay vampires, which I kind of do. There's also Burning Vengeance, and we are in a flashback-related format. Burning Vengeance is a deck in and of itself if we get enough stuff we can cast from the grave. And that's kind of the Innistrad theme, not to mention it does fit in vampires, because vampires are black-red on Innistrad. I'll take a Burning Vengeance. Whether or not we can make this work, we might have to go deep, but we'll see. Belligerent Guest, I think, is the most reasonable pick for us here, except maybe an Evolving Wilds. But we'll take the Guest. I think we're going to be starting with vampires here. Actually fell out of my chair the other day. I'm glad Porter wasn't down here, because I landed right, like I fell towards his bed and landed on it. So I had this nice comfy cushion, and I leaned over just a little bit too hard. It was awkward for me. Corpse Cobble. I don't really feel like splashing for that, even though it has flashback. Ardent Elementalist. We can get back an instant or sorcery, so like Burning Vengeance would be good. Festival Crasher, not really. Pax Betrayal is interesting because I have some sack outlets. Yeah, I'll take a threaten effect. We can do like a black-red aristocrat style thing. There's a secret lair for League of Legends. I can't say that would surprise me, but yes, I know Twitch. Thank you. I slept funny last night. I got a crick in my neck. Wow, nobody's playing green or white, huh? Oh man. Well, I will take Talons of Falconwrath, but like, I'm sad to pass up on Gather the Townsfolk. Yes, he is. He's a good boy. That's a creek, not a crick. Ristic Study's a card in it? Alright, fair enough. I mean, there's... I'm all for them, like, using that to reprint cards that need reprints. Oh, I forgot. The Porter Cam is not down here. It's up in my room monitoring my 3D printer, so there will be no Porter Cam today. I apologize in advance. This is Innistrad Chaos Draft. So we visited Innistrad 3 or 4 times. So we are drafting from all of the different kinds of packs. You say tomatoes, I say tomatoes, but in an uneducated way. Got my research proposal submitted for my exam. Now I must study a bunch for the presentation itself. Best of luck to you. And I hope it goes well. Yeah, I'll take a random vampire, I think. This Burning Vengeance does not look like it's paying off right now. Bluetron, Bluetron, Bluetron. I will take the Graph Rats here. I'm saying that the thing that that has the potential to burn my house down is more urgent than Porter. Not that Porter is more important. I'm protecting him by proxy. I'll take a Demolish, question mark. Alright, so I've got a few different decks in the queue, and I'm going to have to work on catching up. Because I've got Shared Fate, I've got the 2 patron deck lists, and I have a special request from Bone Daddy for a deck. And I have... So, there's quite a few things I got to get done across these next couple of weeks here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and send it to me. Well, the good news is we got a pretty reasonable number of cards out of our first pack. The bad news is we're going to need some better cards. How's slowing down the content been going? Good. I am nowhere near as stressed about that. So it's been allowing me to enjoy playing Magic when I play it for the channel, which is great. Make Mischief, 3 mana, deal 1 damage. Abundant Maw has a merge. I'm glad that it shows through, and I agree, hobbies should not be stressful. I think I'm going to take Abundant Maw, because if we can get a couple of threaten effects, we can absolutely use this as a sack outlet. And this is a pretty decent sack outlet for an emerge effect. Because if we steal something big, then this is a lot cheaper, and it's not unreasonable to get to 6 mana. What did you just realize, Six Sigma? You are not my therapist at all. Let's see. So Forge Devil is actually really good. There are a lot of X ones in this format. Let's see. The flashback on Shattered Perception is not actually that bad. Fling is also a great spell because of the whole steal your stuff, sack your guys kind of game. Increasing Confusion, unfortunately. If I'd have started with that, I would have probably drafted blue. I'm going to take Forge Devil. Fling's great, but I like the ping better. Let's see. Rakish Air. It's kind of like a Vampire Lord. So I think we're going to go with that. One just has more Makeup, Kano Big Juggo. Well, I realized last week I basically only consumed caffeine and alcohol. I had like 2 glasses of water across 7 days. And I was like, well, I better make some actual something for hydration. It's BCAAs, a little bit of Gatorade mix, and water. If Olivia had married Edgar, wouldn't that make her Soren's step-grandmother? Maybe. That kind of makes sense. Let's see. Stromkirk Blood Thief. It's a pretty good vampire. Electric Revelation. I don't feel like we're going to need that as much. I don't think we're on the flashback game plan at all, so I'm just going to take... I think I'm going to take good vampires first. Yeah, I'll take another belligerent guest. Hey, Kefka, how's it going? Why is my chat not appearing here? What is wrong with this setup? Okay, there we go. Your Grubhub guy has the best mustache? Concern intensifies. It's because while I can't read, there are a bunch of different colors that kind of scroll, and I wasn't seeing that. His vision is based on movement. I can take another 3-mana 3/2 vampire. I can take a 2-mana 3/3 with Skulk. I have like 1 madness card. Kano Rex. Oh no. Shambleback. Shambleback's not actually that bad of a spell, but we'll take the vampire. Let's see. Somberwald Vigilante, Riot Ringleader, Polluted Dead, or Grave Exchange. I actually really like Grave Exchange, so I'm going to be taking Grave Exchange. Stony Silence. There's not enough artifacts in this format. We'll take Skeletal Grimace. Wendigano. Not gonna lie, I read that and I was like, what kind of spice is Wendigano? Now we need a meme video of the first Rex attack from Jurassic Park with Kano's face superimposed over it. I'm not sure you do. Although I did see a great edit, I think it was Owl Kitty, where it was like the T-Rex attack, but with a cat. I guess I take the Kessig Wolf. Mind Rot on a 1/1 Intimidate creature is, I don't think, good enough. Alright, I will take a Flame Channeler. Those are probably going to be a little bit aggressive. Fearful Villager is fine, just gives us more options. Alright, so I'm almost certainly not playing Burning Vengeance, Demolish, Infernal Plunge. Borrowed Hostility has the potential to be great. Skeletal Grimace is better than it looks. Because of the regenerate. It's actually a little bit worse because we have a bunch of sacrifice effects, but... Alright, I will take Shambleback. Let's hope for a great pack 3. Somberwald Vigilante. Wow, burn. Let's see. We've got a few different options here. I really like Fires of Undeath. 3 mana for 2 damage is not bad, and it's in our colors and our flashback color. Falconwrath Torturer is a sacrifice outlet. Erdwall Ripper is a great aggressive creature. I think I'm going to go with the burn spell. My goodness. Let's see. Borrowed Malevolence. This card generally does work. Insatiable Gorgers attacks each combat if able. It's a 4-mana 5/3. Stencia Banquet does damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal to the number of vampires you control. Draw a card. Just burn your opponent's face, draw a card. I don't know if that's good enough to run, but we have a bunch of vampires. I think we go with the 4-mana 5/3. Okay, Bleed Dry is excellent removal, so I will take a Bleed Dry. Malevolent Whispers is another threaten effect. It also has Madness. Olivia's Bloodsworn, though, is also really, really good. It's a flying 2/1 that grants vampires haste. I think I'm going to go with that. If anything, all the Gorilla Glue adds, but perfectly cut, is a funny idea for that there's a gorilla on the loose. What? I'm just going to ignore Tarek for a moment. No reason. See, when Blood Tithe Collector enters the battlefield, and if opponent lost life this turn, they discard a card. Falconwrath Perforator attacks, deals 1 damage to a defending player. Enters the battlefield if an opponent lost life, add triple red. That seems good considering what's in our deck. Like, we can kind of speed out some more more vampires. Let's see. Altar's Reap. I do actually like Altar's Reap, so I will take that. I don't know that that was necessary, but okay. Sorry, Tarek. I'll still play Bluetron. Inner Struggle. Inner Struggle is actually great removal for almost every format. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. Yeah, we'll take the removal. You can see my leg. Yeah, I'm sitting cross-legged in my comfortable chair. Scandalous. Rite of Ruin. Choose an order for artifacts, creatures, and lands. Each player sacrifices 1 of the first type, 2 of the second type, and 3 of the third type. Not bad. 4 mana 2/2 with Intimidate and gets a 1/1 whenever it hits. Or Dangerous Wager, discard your hand and draw 2 cards. I actually really like Dangerous Wager. I think the best card for us is probably Heir of Stromkirk. Rite of Ruin. It's okay. How could this happen? It will take Falconwrath Torturer. I should have channel point redemptions to time out people for 1 minute. See, the problem with that is no matter what the price is, it will be abused. Maybe you can get a channel point redemption to time out yourself. Stencia Banquet, cantrips. Oh my god. Stencia, why? Oh, why? I'll take an Ancestral Anger. We'll take the threaten effect. Stromkirk Mentor is actually great, but Did Derek say, "I'll take Sissy as ban now"? I just caught that in time to see him timed out. That's pretty funny. Oh, man. Seize the storm, go to sideboard. Oh. Oh my gosh. What does lymphoma mean? Is it like lymphoma? Do you have a disease, Sigma? All right. So, what are we playing? What are we not playing? Probably not Somberwald Vigilante. Oh, Graph Rats doesn't do anything. I was thinking that was the side that had the Graph Digger effect on it. Yeah, but you spelled LMFAO wrong. You said LMFOA. That was the joke. All right, we should probably let Tarek stay in the chat now. All right, so I need to cut a lot of stuff. Probably need to cut things that aren't vampires, although Flame Channeler can probably stay. I have a lot of 3-drops and not a lot of anything else. I don't need the Kessig Wolf. Rakish Air is great. Tarek? Who's Tarek? Not playing Weary Prisoner. Okay, now we need to cut some non-creature cards. Grave Exchange, we can probably just get rid of. Talons of Falconwrath is technically a combat trick, but I don't really want it. I don't mind having the cantrip. This is literally a target creature you control gains trample, draw a card. Borrowed Hostility might be better. Is Fling super good? Fling is going to be super good. We have Malevolent Whispers and Pax Betrayal. So we're going to steal stuff and sack it. And Fling is a way to do that. And if you've ever flung one of your opponent's creatures at another one of their creatures and killed both, it's fantastic. Standard Rakdos Aristocrats. Okay, I'm actually going to cut the cantrip. Altar's Reap is probably fine. I didn't get anything with Undying, unfortunately. What is Emerge? Emerge is another sacrifice mechanic. So an Emerge cost, you can sacrifice a creature, and then you deduct the mana value of the creature that you sacrifice from the Emerge cost and cast it for that. So if I sack Wormcoil Engine to Abundant Maw, it only costs 1 black. Have you ever played Bloodborne? Yes, and I'm terrible at it. I know, Sigma, haven't you? Haven't you noticed that by now? Let's see. Make Mischief, I also like because it gives us another thing to sacrifice. I still need to cut about 3 cards. So I think Borrowed Hostility's got to go. And Skeletal Grimace. Even though it's decent, I think we've got enough other stuff going on. And then... It does feel like a long time. It's that that lockdown time. Making everything even longer than it is. My stream stuttered for a moment and I wondered, is this it? Sigma pulled the trigger. Oh, gosh. I guess Stencia Banquet. Alright, we got ourselves a deck. Let's do this. Hey, Speed Force Punch. How's it going? It's not my birthday, but welcome. I apologize if you can hear Porter chomping on a bone. Dominaria was 4 years ago. That was the last time I went to Vegas. This hand is bad, right? Like, it's got some powerful stuff in it, but I've got to draw, like, 2 cards to make this hand even close to playable. Yeah, let's mulligan. This hand is less good, but, like, okay. I'm gonna put back, I think, Bleed Dry. Play a mountain. Pass the turn. Oh, 30-second betting period for if you want to wager some channel points. Play a swamp. Pass the turn. Can't play Forge Devil as the only creature on board because it will kill itself. Opponent plays a swamp and passes. We draw Olivia's Bloodsworn, so play a mountain. Play Olivia's Bloodsworn. Opponent flashes in an Ambush Viper. Give the Bloodsworn haste and attack for 2. Pass the turn. I forgot about Ambush Viper. It does die to Forge Devil, though. There are a lot of X1s across all of the Innistrad formats that are playable, which makes Forge Devil a really good card. Alright, so let's Forge Devil. Kill the Ambush Viper. Go to combat and attack for 2 in the air. Opponent goes down to 16. We pass. Opponent plays a Woodland Sleuth. No Morbid, though. We untap. We draw Voldaren Pariah, which I also cannot cast, so go to combat. Attack for 2 in the air, and I think we're just going to leave up Inner Struggle. Opponent plays a Cemetery Prowler. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card type they share with cards exiled from Cemetery Prowler. Okay. Opponent attacks for 2. That's fine. So unfortunately, Inner Struggle not really helping because my opponent is playing creatures that have a higher toughness than they have power. And unfortunately, I'm not drawing my 5th land that I really, really desperately need. So go to combat. Attack for 2 in the air. And pass the turn. Leave up Inner Struggle. I'm really glad I didn't put back a land, because if I'd put back a land, we would be in some deep trouble. Opponent plays a Screeching Scob. Mills themselves. They mill a Mystic Skull and an island. Then they go to combat. Attack for 5. So they're going to exile Mystic Skull, probably, if they exile anything. Okay. No blocks. Take 5. Alright, I am going to Inner Struggle this Scob. because I have nothing else to do with my mana. Opponent is going to bounce my vampire. Then we have to discard a card. It's unfortunate I can't Madness Voldaren Pariah. I'm going to have to drop Abundant Maw, I think. Hang on. Pax Betrayal gets a 3/3. This would cost 4 on top. Yeah, okay. So, nope. Discard Abundant Maw. Block and use Inner Struggle to kill the 3/4. I could have done that, but the Compelling Deterrence, which I didn't know about, to be fair, Compelling Deterrence there would have caused a huge problem. So we're going to play the Bloodsworn, and we're going to Altar's Reap this turn. So we're going to chump with Forge Devil, and then Altar's Reap to draw some cards. See, doing what you said, Sissy, is probably the correct line, but I punted into a better line. Like, I didn't know it was 4th down, and I punted. So, all right, opponent attacks for 5. So we block, and then Altar's Reap. We really need some lands. We get a land and Belligerent Guest. That's excellent. Opponent plays a Woodland Patrol. Then they pass. We untap. We draw Fires of Undeath. So Pax Betrayal, Cemetery Prowler. This lets us scry. If, of course, this resolves. If it doesn't, we're in huge trouble. Peel from Reality. Target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. I can't fizzle this, can I? No, because I can't remove both targets. In that case, I think I have to fling my own creature to kill Woodland Patrol. Because otherwise we're just going to take too much damage. So opponent picks up Cemetery Prowler. Pax Betrayal fizzles. We pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play Cemetery Prowler. Exiling an instant. Then they attack us for 2. We go to 6. Untap and draw Heirs of Stromkirk. Oh man, I might just be dead. So I guess we play Voldaren Pariah. Pass the turn. Opponent Abundant Growths to draw a card. I mean, in theory, we can at least block Woodland Sleuth, but they attack with the Prowler. They exile Olivia's Bloodsworn. We do not block. We go down to 3. They play a Bloodline Keeper, which is really unfortunate that they have a Bloodline Keeper and we don't. And I think that means I'm just going to concede. I don't want to show them any more of my deck. They had some really good interaction. Okay. So, do we make adjustments? I don't really have anything that's going to be better than what my opponent's doing. Than what I have already. Because, like, if I bring in combat tricks, they're just going to bounce stuff. Like, using Grave Exchange as a hard edict seems fine, but I think I'm just going to run it back, and I think I have to hope that they have a slightly worse hand than they did, and that we draw lands a lot sooner. Okay, I'd like to play first. I think this hand is good. We will keep. So, lead on a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest. We play a swamp, pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp and mulches. They get 2 forests to their hand. Then they have to discard a card. They discard a forest. We draw a swamp. Let's play Blood Mad Vampire, because this gives us the most value for connecting with our opponent. Opponent plays an island, which is not the forest that we know they're holding. Attack for 4. Okay, Blood Mad Vampire gets a counter on it. Play Belligerent Guest, pass the turn. Opponent plays another island, which is, again, not the card we thought they had. Or not the card we know they have, I guess. And go to combat. Attack for 8, leave up fires, leave up Inner Struggle. Opponent takes 8 and goes to 8. I am still confused. Pass the turn. Opponent makes me exile 2 cards from my hand. So I Fires of Undeath them. I think they're just gathering information before they concede. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. They've seen every other card in my hand, though, so I'll get rid of the Bloodsworn and Inner Struggle. And they scoop. Okay. Opponent kept a hand that did nothing. Actually, nothing. They cast a Mind Rot after a mulch. So run it back. Yeah, this seems like an okay hand. We will keep. It's not the most amazing in the world, but a single mountain gets us to a lot better place. I also don't mind having a Barter in Blood, because now any land is really, really good for us. Opponent's going to give me these skulls. Opponent mulches. They get an island out of the deal. They just dumped 3 really good cards. We get a Fling. Play Olivia's Bloodsworn. Pass the turn. Opponent yet again plays the card. Plays a different card than the one we know about. We untap. We draw a Vampire Noble, which is at least something efficient to play this turn. So play Vampire Noble. Go to combat. And attack for 2 in the air. You could argue that I shouldn't be playing out creatures if I'm going to Barter in Blood. And you might be successful in your argument. Opponent plays a Wedding Invitation. Drawing a card. Attack for 3. They exile an instant. No blocks. Then they play a Mystic Skull. We draw a Belligerent Guest. So go to combat. Attack for 2 in the air. Take them to 16. Play Belligerent Guest. Pass the turn. We cannot draw lands. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks for 3. I don't know that I'm willing to double block. Though maybe I should be. Because if they have like Peel from Reality to save their guy, that's fine. Yeah, alright, I'll double block. I can't really swing past it, so. If they have a pump spell, that's unfortunate. If they have an unsummon, whatever. They have nothing, that's also fine. If this is a Woodland Sleuth, that's okay. Bloodline Keeper. And we draw a mountain. So Bloodline Keeper, I think I'm okay to barter in blood beforehand, because that's going to get out of our hands really quickly. Because it makes so many tokens. So let's attack. They don't block. Do I just fling to kill it? Because if I draw another red source, I could like Heirs of Stromkirk or Insatiable Gorgers next turn and give it haste. I think I'm going to hold on to Barter in Blood and just give up on my 3-2. Because this leaves me with something. And that has to die immediately. Opponent plays an island. They play a Cruel Witness. We untap and get a Malevolent Whispers. So let's play an Heirs of Stromkirk. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They do not attack. They play a Stoic Builder. They have no lands to pick up out of the grave. They play a land and then they untap. We draw a mountain. They can't flip the Mystic Skull and block. So play a mountain. Play Insatiable Gorgers. Give it haste. Go to combat. And attack for 7. So they can trade with the Gorgers, and that's fine. Okay. Heirs of Stromkirk gets bigger. We pass. This allows Olivia's Bloodsworn to start attacking. Opponent goes to combat. They attack. We take 2. Opponent plays a Woodland Sleuth. Then passes. We untap and draw Voldaren Pariah. So go to combat. Attack for 5. Opponent goes down to 4. Heirs of Stromkirk gets bigger. Play Voldaren Pariah. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. And scoops. We got there. Not exactly how we drew it up for the first game, but you know what? I'll take it. So, I'm going to restart the client and then we'll go into round 2. Sigma, do you need me to close the prediction? I'm going to assume that he needs me to close the prediction. Do you like to imagine Emrakul being trapped in the moon, just shoveling in dusty moon dust, watching Popcorn, the event of the wedding, like a TV series, and just being like, sniffle, I love wedding movies? It's actually pretty funny. Alright, y'all have 2 minutes. I'm opening a new prediction for round 2. I love Sigma's betting strategy for me, which is to bet win until I have 2 wins and then bet against me, because statistically, like, I think my most common result is 2 wins, 1 loss for like any format that's 3 rounds. So most limited formats. Alrighty, round 2. Here we go. Alright, so we got red mana, but we really need black mana to make this hand work. It's not a bad hand, and we're on the draw. I think I'm going to mulligan. This is way better. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to put back Bleed Dry. Bleed Dry is a pretty incredible action spell, but I was going to say, I don't know how likely I am to draw the second swamp. At least right away. So, Opponent plays a Thermo Alchemist. We draw Rakish Air. Play swamp, pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain. We draw another swamp, so let's play Vampire Noble. We get pinged. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. Could this be burn? It probably is. I'm going to play mountain, and we're going to start by attacking. Technically, I'm potentially missing a 1/1 counter here off of Rakish Air. But I'm suspecting my opponent has like maybe a convolute effect or something like that. I'm going to play Heirs of Stromkirk. The Intimidate is not that great because they are playing red, obviously, but that's just the design of Intimidate. We get pinged again. They untap, they play a second island. They play a Wingcrafter. They're going to give Thermo Alchemist flying. I'm not sure why, but okay. We draw Belligerent Guest. Play a Swamp. Play Rakish Air. Go to combat. And attack for 5. If either of them connect with our opponent, they get bigger. So they block the creature with Intimidate, and they block the other creature by chumping. They have a Geist Wave. So they are going to bounce their own creature and draw, which gives them an untap trigger. That's fine. Like, ultimately, they just, like, fog a turn and we take 2 damage off the Thermo Alchemist. So we'll pass. Get pinged again. Opponent untaps. They draw. They play a Forest. They play a Dreadlight Monstrosity. Alright. It might be Barter and Blood time. We draw a Mountain. So the question is, do I keep Rakish Air or do I keep Heirs of Stromkirk? Thank you, Tarek. Rakish Air powers up any vampire we happen to get. Heirs of Stromkirk has Intimidate. I think we're going to keep the Heirs of Stromkirk. This has Ward as well. It's a big nasty creature. So let's play a Mountain. Show our opponent the power of Double Edict. We get pinged. Sack the Noble, sack the Heir. Then get in for 2. It is now a 3/3, which means any future Thermo Alchemists will not be able to profitably block it. Opponent plays a Bramble Worm. I'm really hoping for our, I was going to say Steel effect. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. So go to combat, hit him for 3. 1/1 counter on our guy. Play Insatiable Gorgers, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. We can technically race this Bramble Worm. I'm really hoping we get our 3 mana or 4 mana threaten effects, though. Because that would just end the game. So we take 7, we go to 8. Opponent plays a Cruel Witness. We untap. We draw another Mountain. So play a Mountain. Play the Guest. Go to combat. Attack for 9. See if they block. They do. Okay. So we get our guy up to 5. Pass the turn. I think we have to be dead to a combat trick or damage. I don't think I should block. Most combat tricks will do 1 or more damage extra. Hey, Mav, how's it going? We take 7 and go to 1. There's a lot of ways we die here. Fling is one of them. Okay. So our opponent is also playing Fling. But our opponent is 3 colors. let's just run it back. They're playing big creatures, and we have several edicts, which is great. I would like to play first. No black mana, but I have 2 creatures I can play, so I'm going to keep it. I would not be surprised if they made a yeet card. I don't even think it'd be a secret lair thing. I think it's just something that got added to the language that might happen. Opponent leads on a tap land. We draw Barter in Blood, which we are a million years away from casting. They say punt on TV or here on the internet. I mean, it was a football term originally. Yeet keyword. Oh, gosh. It might be a silver border card. Kind of depends, I suppose. They give Geist of the Archives flying. They hit us for 1. We untap and draw Make Mischief. So go to combat. Attack for 3. They block. We do 3 damage. Ping it for 1. Pass the turn. Yeah, but I didn't want to show him that I had the fling there. Alright, we untap. We draw fling. So go to combat and attack for 3. Okay. So we trade. I was hoping we could get a blood token, because then I could draw a card and Madness Blood Mad Vampire. But I'll just have to settle for casting Blood Mad Vampire. Pass the turn. I'm fling this vampire at you? Yeah. Opponent plays a land. They drag under the token. Okay. We draw a Falcon Wrath Torturer, so we pass, because I really need black mana. Super bad. Opponent casts Divination, which is overpowered and limited. Everybody knows that. Just 3 mana, draw 2 cards. How's that fair? They play a land. We untap. We draw a 4th mountain. That's exactly what I wanted. Thanks. Pass the turn, holding off this 4-1 with a 1-1. Opponent Forbidden Alchemy. That's actually really good. Just imagine if it was an instant. Unbelievable. They pass over Curious Homunculus and Island and adjust the wind. And adjust the wind, not adjust the wind. That doesn't make any sense. They give Dreadlight Monstrosity flying, which is awful. You can't just give a giant crab wings, man. That's not cool. We continue to not draw lands. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Evolving Wilds for a mountain. They untap. They go to combat. They attack for 6. We take 6. Not only lands. Oh my gosh. Opponent plays a Fangblade Brigand. And I'm going to fling to kill it. Simply because I don't have another good answer for it, and I kind of have to delay a little bit here. We untap. We draw a swamp, finally. Play a swamp. And play a Olivia's Bloodsworn. Because maybe the haste gets us back in this game. Give it haste. Go to combat and attack for 2. Opponent plays a Bait Hook Angler. Attacks us for 6. We take 6. We draw an Altar's Reap. Can I even stay alive? I can. But I don't like it. Go to combat. Attack for 2. And if my opponent has a counter spell or a bounce spell, I'm just done. I was kind of hoping to Altar's Reap this turn to draw cards. But I have to emerge to cast Abundant Maw here. This drains life. This lets me stay alive for 1 more turn. And I still have to draw, I think, exactly a swamp to stay alive. Opponent attacks for 6. We take 6, go to 4. And get flung. Alright, sorry, believers. Doubters win that one. I will open up a prediction for the final match immediately. Yeet! Alright. Let me restart the client again. Have fun, Mav. Thanks for stopping in. It's not my birthday, but thanks anyway. All right, final round. Here we go. I would like to play first. All right. Oh, gosh. Lead on a swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent also leads on a swamp. We draw Heirs of Stromkirk. Play Olivia's Bloodsworn. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play an island and a Screeching Scob. So they're playing Dimir Zombies. We draw Fires of Undeath. So play a mountain, go to combat. I'm actually going to shoot that Screeching Scob immediately. Because there's a few... I mean, like, there's a merge. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they might want a creature on board. So we're just going to deal with that now. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a swamp. They Rotten Reunion, exiling a random card out of their grave. They have a furtive homunculus and a zombie with decayed. So play Insatiable Gorgers. I'm going to save the haste for Heirs of Stromkirk and hit them for 2 in the air. They untap. They defenestrate to kill the Insatiable Gorgers. And then hit us for 2. We untap. We draw a Falconwrath Torturer. So play Heirs of Stromkirk. That is the deck I like playing, you're right. I don't think it's very good, though. Definitely not in this format. Zombie, like, so the mechanics for zombies are too far all over the place. I mean, I guess if you got, like, Undying and Exploit and stuff like that, it would be really good, but the problem is, I guess, no, Zombies is fine playing, like, an Aristocrat game plan, because, like, you'd have access to, in this format, like, Diagraph Captain, which is a pseudo Blood Artist effect. You have access to actual Blood Artist. You have creatures with Undying. Yeah, I could see it working, I guess. They play a Cobbled Lancer. They attack us for 4. They attack us for 2. So we take 2, go to 16. We untap and draw Inner Struggle. So play a Swamp. Go to combat. And attack for 5. Counter on the heirs. Pass the turn. We'll just leave up Inner Struggle. Opponent goes to combat. They attack for 7. Decayed trigger. John Eli 6. Welcome. How's it going? Glad to have you. So we're going to take 7. Go to 9. They sack a zombie. Oh my gosh. I don't know which one of you, if any, has seen the stupid Scott Sterling meme. That's what the man, the myth, the legend makes me think of. It's like the soccer player that keeps getting kicked in the face with like a ball or whatever. It's just like, look at him begging for mercy when it should be mercy begging for him. It's just like, what? Like they keep doing like free kicks and stuff, and it keeps like smacking him in the face. It's pretty fantastic. We draw Malevolent Whispers, so play Falconwrath Torturer. I don't want my opponent to know that I have a threaten effect in the deck if I can hide it. I would rather try to win with a hasted vampire. They got something. But the question is what? Have you played Deltarune any? I have not. I actually didn't even ever play Undertale. I did watch other people play through it, but I did not play through it myself. So go to combat. Attack for 4.
Now that I facilitated the switching of your bodies, and the cover-up of the lesbian relationship between Benjamin Franklin and George Washington, my plan is almost complete. I took this out of context.
Yeah, I imagine that requires a colossal amount of context to understand. But thank you for the bits, Sissia. Chaos Draft reminded me of a boss fight from Deltarune. I see. Chaos Draft is what I would call a tornado. It's a little bit stronger than a draft, though, to be honest. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Oh man, I love bad puns. For the punts, not the puns. Yeah, but in order to punt, you need to set the ball on a tee. Because without the tee, it's just a pun. Anyway, keeping this. We untap, draw Voldaren Pariah, lead on a mountain, pass the turn. The T is for kicking off. Oh, right. I played football, but I was a lineman, sir. Play a swamp, Forge Devil, kill Wretched Throng. Do they have another? The punt is done from your hand, like how you play Magic. Gosh. Opponent plays a Screeching Bat. We untap. We draw Malevolent Whispers. Play a mountain. Yeah, play a Bloodsworn. Give it haste. Go to combat. And attack for 2. See if they block. I imagine they don't, because... Okay, I was going to say potentially transforming that could be good. They untap. But if you remove the pun from punt, it's just T, and T is for the British. Oh my gosh. We untap. We draw a Flame Channeler. Go to combat. Smack for 1. Take him to 19. Then we'll play Rakish Air. Counterspell? Is this a Bone to Ash? Oh my gosh, it is a Bone to Ash. Counter target creature spell, draw a card. I was like, what 4-mana counterspells exist in this format? And then I remembered. Frickin' Bone to Ash. I understand, Tarek. Okay, opponent plays land. Then plays a Cobbled Lancer and a Covert Cut Purse. Interesting. We draw an Inner Struggle. So play Flame Channeler, pass the turn. Man, we really have trouble drawing that fourth land in this deck. Maybe I should have kept some of the cantrips. Kano has issues with deck design. No, never. Alright. Opponent attacks. No, I don't want to trade. Then they play a Firmament Sage, which is a creature that does not die to Inner Struggle. Play Stromkirk Blood Thief. Really, really would like to draw a swamp. It's turn 6. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They attack us for 2, that's fine. Take 2. Go to 12. 5 mana, opponent plays Soul Caesar. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may transform it. If you do, attach it to target creature that player controls. That has to die immediately. And I don't... Oh my god. Well... What happens if I take Soul Caesar and steal a card with it? I must know. I don't think we're winning this, but I must know if I get to keep it or not. Go to combat. Attack for 1. We'll take Firmament Sage. What happens? Transform it. All right, and then we give back Soul Caesar? Question mark. Oh my god, do we just get to keep it permanently? Oh, well, at least it sort of killed their Soul Caesar. That would have been awesome. If this was one of the cards that, like, exiled and then came back as, like, a new permanent, it wouldn't, like, if it had, like, the Flipwalkers text, where it exiled and then came back transformed, we would keep it. But I think because it transformed and it's just the same permanent, alright, opponent attacks for 3. Soul Caesar. This seems like a trap, but we will block. Five mana. Opponent Rise from the Grave, Forge Devil. They Forge Devil to kill my Stromkirk guy. That's fine. We untap. We yet again do not draw a land. Play Belligerent Guest, go to combat, and pass. Opponent untaps. Block here. Was using Rise for the Grave on a 1/1 really better than, like, getting back Soul Caesar? Grotesque Mutation. Well, let's see. It's turn 9, and I've not drawn a land in 6 turns. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Get a blood token. Sack the blood token. Discard Malevolent Whispers. We cannot madness it. Draw a card. And it's still not a land. Fling. Pass the turn. And yes, I think flinging there was correct because if I draw a swamp and they play a creature, I want to barter in blood. Okay, they exile Cobbled Lancer from the grave to draw a card. They play a land. They go to combat. They hit us for 2. We go down to 2. If they don't play a creature, we draw a swamp. I want to play Bleed Dry. Oh my god. Turn 10. Only had 3 lands. Alright, run it back. Imagine if you had Faithless Looting. I know, right? Alright, this is a mulligan. You know what? I will keep this. I'm going to put back Malevolent Whispers. If we end up ripping just like nothing but lands, if we get to 5 mana, Pax Betrayal Altar's Reap is fantastic. If we don't, I guess, Altar's Reap Olivia's Bloodsworn. Play a swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play an island. They pass. We draw Fling. Play a swamp. Well, that gives us a good backup for a thing to combo with Pax Betrayal. Opponent plays a swamp. 2 mana, they play Tattered Haunter, which does stop me from attacking. Play a swamp, pass the turn. No sense in doing anything yet. They play an island. They attack for 2. Okay, we'll take 2. Go to 18. And they pass. We draw Insatiable Gorgers. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Take our opponent to 18 and pass the turn. Opponent is playing counter spells, so I don't want to just cast this Altar's Reap at a opportune moment for my opponent. They do have Bone to Ash, which is a creature-only counter spell. So I don't have to worry about that one in particular. Okay. Altar's Reap on their end step. We do get a mountain. That's wonderful. Untap. We draw another mountain. Excellent. Play a mountain. Play Belligerent Guests. Kind of expecting the Bone to Ash. It would be really bad if my opponent did have it, but there'd be nothing I can do. They got something else. Defenestrate. Okay. Opponent plays a Firmament Sage. Then hits us for 2. We go to 14. We draw Blood Mad Vampire. Play Insatiable Gorgers. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a swamp. They attack us for 2. Take 2, go to 12. Then they play Covert Cut Purse. Draw a mountain. Play a mountain. And yeah, we'll take Firmament Sage. They turn aside Pax Betrayal. Go to combat. Attack for 5. So they can double block here, and it's not unreasonable because they can cast this guy from the grave. But they don't block. Play Blood Mad Vampire. Pass the turn. Opponent's got an instant. Peel from reality. Alright. They pick up their guy, and they pick up and make me pick up Blood Mad Vampire. Opponent goes to combat, attacks us for 4. We go down to 8. They play Thraben Foulbloods and Covetous Cut Purse. Draw a mountain. So we want to kill that Foulbloods. The problem is I only can do that with Fling. So I have to give up my Blood Mad Vampire to do that. Or I just have to trade. I'm not really thrilled about either. But I think we have to trade because if this Famished Foragers, if we can trigger its life loss ability, we can play Blood Mad Vampire and draw a card, I think. Okay, opponent trades. So they have no cards in hand. I think I have to play this out. I don't think I can wait until next turn to Madness because my life total's so low. Opponent goes to combat and passes. So they draw a card for Firmament Sage. We draw Voldaren Pariah, which we can Madness. Yeah, let's just pass. I'm going to try and Madness Voldaren Pariah on my opponent's end step. They play a Skiersdag Supplicant. Okay. Discard Voldaren Pariah. Hopefully we can get a blocker and they didn't draw Bone to Ash. Oh my god, did they? Unbelievable. At least we get to draw a card out of the deal. Get a Rakish Heir. Take 2, go to 6. Untap. They draw a card. We draw Belligerent Guest. So play Rakish Heir. Go to combat. Attack and attack. They have to block or they die because we have Fling. If they block in a way that we don't like, we can fling a creature to kill Skiersdag's Supplicant, which is a pretty big deal. Because we can't just have them like have a burn spell on a stick. Okay, so 1/1 counter there. Pass the turn. I'm still very, very close to dead. And I'm pretty sure that's the only burn that I have. So I don't have a lot that can generate like reach for us. The opponent attacks. Block here, go to 2. Oh, I guess Malevolent, if I get my untap. No, I guess because they played a bunch of blockers, that's not going to work. All right. Well, we can loot away the swamp. Not sure what we can draw, possibly, but Inner Struggle does not do it. And our opponent gets us. Yeah, I think my opponent needed to not block and get greedy in order for us to actually win that game. But that is unfortunate. Doubters win. Doubters win. Okay, so I have to... shocker. I have to take a very quick break. I will be right back. We will do another Chaos draft, because that was a lot of fun. And I'm interested to see what else I can draft in this format. I will be right back. All right. And we're back. Chair stream is over. Let's do another Chaos draft. I do really like the fact that it seems oh my gosh. Did my view count go up while I was gone? More people tuned in and stayed while the chair was here. Oh my gosh. You're like, oh, this is interesting. This is Jace's sanctum with a chair in front of it. Oh, who's this guy? I'll watch something else. Give the people what they want. Oh my gosh. As I was saying, I'm really glad that they consistently design every Innistrad block around like the monster tribes and then humans. And not only that they've done that, but that they've kept a theme going across all of the Innistrad sets, so like they all kind of play together. Do a meme video on YouTube of a chair in front of your blank screen. I think that'd be called a shit post. I don't even think that would be a meme. It'd just be a chair. Just call it what the people want. Oh gosh. How the hell am I supposed to know? Alright. Here we go. So, Chaos Draft number 2. Honestly, I kind of want to take Trepanation Blade, and we can try and draft Mill. It'd be kind of fun. Heretic's Punishment is a little bit sketchy and limited. I could take Avacyn's Pilgrim and do like a green-white humans deck. The last league, it seemed like that was open. So I don't know if it's just unpopular. I could go Village Ironsmith. Could do Werewolves. I don't really want to play blue. Not unless I'm playing zombies, and if I'm playing zombies, I'm not going to play Dissipate. You know what? Let's go with the Ironsmith. Let's try doing Werewolves, huh? He says getting a pack that has no werewolves in it. So let's see, we got Aggravate. 1 damage to each creature target player controls. They attack this turn if able. Thraben Valiant, a 2-mana 2/1 with Vigilance. There's a Voice of the Provinces. 6 mana for a 3/3 and a 1/1 is kind of high. He does look straight out of Bloodborne. I'm going to take the Trusted Force Mage. I'm not thrilled about any of this, really. Splendid Reclamation's actually unplayable. Somberwald Stag fights something when it enters the battlefield. Otherwise, I can take a 2-mana 2/1 with Menace if I want to be really aggressive. There is. They did a complete Chaos Draft a couple of times on Moto. I think I actually drafted it when they did. I will take Hinterland Logger. It's a pretty aggressive werewolf. Let's see. Kano draft Shahrazad. I don't think Shahrazad was in it. Let's see. Grounded. That card seems awful. Cruin Striker. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it gains 1/0 and trample until the end of turn. And then Nightshade Peddler. Nightshade Peddler, there is a ping effect. And Nightshade Peddler is really strong, but I only think the ping effect exists in one of the OG Innistrad sets. I'll still take Nightshade Peddler. Best Chaos draft ever. So I can take Broodweaver or Pestilent Wolf. We'll take the Giant Spider. Let's go with the Giant Spider. All right. Village Survivors, a 5-mana 4/5 Vigilance, and Fateful Hour. All other creatures have Vigilance. Hunger of the Howlpack, which is a permanent giant growth if something died. Rack with Madness, which is not a bad removal spell. I mean, we did just have an instant version of that in our last deck. Or Russet Wolves. I think we got to go with the 5-mana 4/5. It's just the best rate here. Sigardian Paladin. As long as you put one or more 1/1 counters on a creature this turn, it has Trample and Lifelink. Target creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it gains Trample and Lifelink. That seems really good and might be enough to push me into green-white, which is what I was originally trying to avoid drafting with the Avacyn's Pilgrim. But we'll see. That's really strong. I mean, humans are really, really decent across all the Innistrad sets. Like, humans is viable, so... Okay, Ancient Grudge, Village Bell Ringer, and Orchard Spirit. I think I've got to go with the Bell Ringer. Yeah, we'll go with the Bell Ringer. Bell Ringer is a combat trick. Ancient Grudge is good, but it's nothing crazy. Yeah, I definitely should have taken that Avacyn's Pilgrim. This deck would be so much better with an Avacyn's Pilgrim in it. I mean, I guess I take Guys of Fire, but I'm not thrilled about it. Swift Spinner. Yeah, we're playing Swift Spinner regardless. We may not play Deranged Whelp, so... Because we're looking to be Selesnya instead of Gruul here. Alright, we'll take Equestrian Skill. Delirium is really hard for us to build. This is a human payoff. I will take Thatcher Revolt. Because Grounded, I think, is unplayable, but Vivisection into the sideboard, Mountain into the side. Alright, pack 2. Pack 2. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to each other creature that player controls. Then each of those creatures deal damage equal to its power to that creature. So this is kind of a janky board wipe. I only know what half of those words mean, Sissia. Let's see. Gavany Ironright. As long as you have 5 or less life, creatures you control get +1/+4. I don't think that's very good. Lingering Souls is good, but I don't think I'm playing black. Loyal Cathar is very white heavy. Or Elgod Inquisitor, a 4-mana 2/2 that gives me a 1/1 spirit when it dies. I think I have to take the Elgod Inquisitor. Because I'm not going to be able to get to Alpha Brawl. Even though Alpha Brawl is really good. Ulvenwald Hydra. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take an Ulvenwald Hydra. I'll just casual Mythic. So at this point we're not playing red. I'm still really sad I didn't take that Avacyn's Pilgrim. Alright. Let's see. Dawngryff, Ironclad Slayer, Waxing Moon, or It of the Horrid Swarm. I guess It of the Horrid Swarm is slightly better than Dawngryff or Ironclad Slayer, because we don't have any equipment or really... I guess I have Equestrian Skill. Alright, I'll take the Ironclad Slayer. Need more 1/1 counter stuff, though, because currently I've got none. Champion of the Parish. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Champion of the Parish. That's hilarious. You just completely shut down ninjas with it? Because that's rude. Alright. I've got a Dawnheart Disciple. Which is probably what I should end up picking here. Because Moldgraph Millipede's not really for this deck, and Vampire Slayer is not that great. Nice. Nice job. Hallgeist is actually pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Midnight Duelist. Midvast Protector is decent. And Trusted Force Mage is also good. I think I'm going to take the Force Mage here. Yeah, we'll take the other Force Mage. Bounding Wolf is fine. Candlegrove Witch is better because it synergizes with Champion. Gotta love me some Fiendbinder. Although Thraben Standard Bearer is a combo with Champion and is another 1-drop. Fiendbinder, just tapping whenever it attacks. Yeah, we gotta take the Fiendbinder. Okay, I still don't like Gavany Ironright, so I will be taking Loyal Cathar. That sounds like an excellent choice. Take a random 3-mana 3/2. That is also a human. I guess I'm not really playing any of these. Parceline or Naturalize. Naturalize is more versatile. I'll take a Vampire Slayer, but I'm not happy with it. Sigma, I know how you feel. I'm actually kind of low energy right now. I'm planning on going to the gym after this, though. Because I need to get a little more exercise in. And I felt so good after I exercised yesterday that I'm like, I need a repeat of that. Put a Guise of Fire in the sideboard. Yeah, they expect you to get all that work done in your last hour of the day, which is actually just the couple of minutes split between every single other thing you have to do at work. Another 1-drop rare human with training that actually fits really good with Champion of the Parish. Radiant Grace would also be great. So would Apprentice Sharpshooter, but take the rare. Another Sigardian Paladin. I am liking it better now that we have some 1/1 counter stuff. Hullbreaker Horror is somewhat strong, I feel, but take the Paladin. I have no idea. I think I like Unruly Mob more than I like Unholy Fiend, simply because of the 1/1 counter synergy here. Festerhide Boar is also pretty good, but we'll take the Mob. Next time we get to see the Swamps in action. I don't know, I haven't played Coffer's Control in a while. I do need to get back around to it, but I also have like 4 or 5 decks in the queue that I have to get to first. Reign of Thorns. There's a card. I haven't seen that card in forever. I guess I'll take another Trusted Force Mage, because Lair Delve isn't really what I'm looking for. Yeah, we'll take the Force Mage. Oh, man. Zombie Apocalypse is the opposite of a card I want to be playing in this deck. Young Wolf is nice. Break of Day is a good Anthem effect. I kind of want to take Hunger of the Howlpack, though. Dawn Treader Elk, I don't think we need the ramp. Let's take Hunger of the Howlpack. I don't know, maybe I should have gone with Young Wolf, but... Let's see, Duel for Dominance or Hound Tamer. Let's go with Hound Tamer. It is technically a human. Let's see. Equestrian Skill. Do I really have only 2 non-creatures in this pile of cards? I'm just now seeing it's like 25 creatures, 2 other. If that's the case, I should take some stuff that is not creatures but supports my creatures, like Prey Upon. Prey Upon is great. Radiant Grace, also great. Yeah, we'll take Radiant Grace. I guess... You know what? Bramble Armor. I don't think I would play Full Moon's Rise or Mulch, but I'll put a Mulch in my sideboard. Soul Bond is just discount banding. Yeah. Banding, Soul Bond, and Meld are all effectively trying to achieve the same thing, which is like your creatures work together. And they tried different takes on each of it, and all 3 of those mechanics, despite the like concept of having multiple creatures working together as a unit being like an incredibly core and simple thing to understand, all 3 of those mechanics were incredibly confusing for the majority of players, which I think is a little ridiculous, because to me Soul Bond makes a lot of sense, but apparently a lot of other people, I think more casual players, did not grasp it very well. But I loved Soul Bond. I thought that was a really fun way to do that mechanic. I need to cut 4 cards, and they probably need to be creatures. So what non-human creatures do I have beside the Hydra and the Stag? Any? I mean, I have some werewolves, but they're humans on the front half. Maybe I don't need Bramble Armor. I might be able to get away without Hunger of the Hell Pack, but 3/1/1 counters on something is very strong, especially with Sigardian Paladins. So let's cut a Force Mage. Well, Force Mage is decent. It's a 3-mana 3/3 if I have an unpaired creature. And I think they can pair with each other and give themselves both benefits. So actually that's fine. I don't think I'm that big of a fan of Loyal Cathar, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's better in like a aristocrat style deck. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I gotta cut 2 cards. This Inquisitor seems kind of overcosted for what it is. Anybody else have any ideas? I only need to cut 2. I think the Stag and the Hydra are kind of invaluable top end, even though they're not human. I mean, the Courier's kind of medium. It can draw us a card. I don't know. I really like the lifelink on the Inquisitor, especially the fact that we can upgrade it in multiple ways. It does die and become a spirit, too, so there's kind of built-in card advantage there. Maybe I should cut the Inquisitor. Or I could cut Hunger of the Howl Pack, I guess, but... You know what? I'm tired of overworking my brain. Let's just run 41 cards. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, prediction. That's right. All right, predictions open. Will I win the next match? Is my opponent joining or not? Is Moto dying? Countdown went to 0 and nothing's happening. Moto's not frozen. An anonymous gifter gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. I'm sure Mana Traders, David VD Mullen, AK10420, Elmi Sadri, and Espergot Games all appreciate your donation very much. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's not amazing, but we've got both colors of mana. And we kind of have a curve. So, lead on a plains. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. We draw Dawnheart Disciple. So play the Disciple. Pass the turn. Opponent Claustrophobia's the Disciple. We draw plains, so play plains, play Candlegrove Witch, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Shipwreck Sifters, loots, and puts a Vampire Slayer into the grave. We untap. We draw an Unruly Mob. Let's just play Sigardian Paladin, because that'll trigger Coven and allow Candlegrove Witch to attack with flying. It also gets a pretty decent powerhouse out there. Is my opponent playing... No, they're not playing mono blue. Okay. They're just getting unlucky and not finding white mana. Mist Raven. Alright, they unsummon Sigardian Paladin. They attack us for 1, we take 1. Untap. We draw Somberwald Stag, which is a pretty great top deck, if I'm being honest. So we stag the Raven. Go to combat and attack for 2. Take him to 16. Drownyard Explorers. Opponent gets to investigate. They pass, we untap, and draw Trusted Force Mage. So we can play the Force Mage. Alright, I've got it. So we play Nightshade Peddler. And we Soul Bond to Somberwald Stag. Because this way, if they double block, we kill both. And we play Trusted Force Mage. And we Soul Bond with Candlegrove Witch. Then we have a flying 3/3. Go to combat. Now we have 3 different powers. So we can attack and attack. Okay, opponent no blocks. They take 7 damage, go to 9. Man, opponent must be getting really unlucky. Because if they drafted blue-white and have gotten no white. And they crack the clue. I'm trying to think of what they would need, like a engulf the shore to reset the board or something like that. So Stormbound Geist can only block creatures with flying, and it has Undying. We untap. We draw Sigardian Paladin. Play Unruly Mob. Trigger Dawnheart Disciple. Go to combat. Candlegrove Witch gains flying. We'll just swing out. We can really put the pressure on here, and if they do block to kill anything, we can just get a big Unruly Mob. And then Sigardian Paladin gets better with Unruly Mob getting 1/1 counters. So they're going to block to kill this Force Mage. So we need to kill the Shipwreck Sifter. Okay. So a couple of 1/1 counters there. Their Stormbound Geist comes back. First draft, I think we went 1 and 2. Welcome back. So opponent finally finds a white source, and they play an Ingenious Scob. So they can pay a blue to give it +1/-1, and they're leaving white open for potentially a combat trick. We untap. We draw Equestrian Skill. I could make a really big Unruly Mob. I could also make Nightshade Peddler a Death Touch trample creature, which is pretty good. Let's power up the Unruly Mob. I mean, I don't think they can. I don't think there are any 3-mana Smite the Monstrous effects in this format. I think there might be one, but it would be a sorcery, and it would be from one of the newer Innistrad sets. Okay, so it looks like they're going to trade with the Ingenious Scob. If they're double blocking here, we can actually just do this to kill both creatures. And then opponent takes 6 and dies because they have nothing else. That's weird. All right, well, we did it. Let's run it back for game 2. Man, I'm sorry I'm like such low energy right now, but I am actually really tired, and I'm not 100% sure why. Because I don't think I got up like particularly early or anything. And I shouldn't be crashing from caffeine either. We draw a white mana. This hand's amazing. I think we can do better, though. This is better. I will keep. And I'm going to put back... I want to put back the Nightshade Peddler. Because I really like what Equestrian Skill is going to do for us this game. This opponent leads on an island. We draw Sigardian Paladin. Play Hopeful Initiate, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. Then passes. We untap. We draw Trusted Force Mage. Play a Forest. Go to combat. And attack for 1. Okay. No blocks. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play an island. And they are passing. We draw Darnheart Disciple. So let's try playing Trusted Force Mage here. Soul Bond to Hopeful Initiate. Make it a 2/3. And attack for 2. Opponent takes 2, goes to 17. For mana, they play a Mist Raven, unsummoning the Trusted Force Mage. We untap. We draw Plains. So play Plains. Play Force Mage. Soul Bond again. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Opponent goes down to 15. They play an island. Opponent kept a really slow hand, so I'm kind of wondering what they're holding on to. They probably have like 5 Syncopates. I imagine they would have used them by now. Repository Scob. Alright. They got a 3/3. We untap. Draw Plains. I think I'm going to Equestrian Skill this Force Mage. Because that gives me a big creature to keep training this Hopeful Initiate. And the only way they're going to kill this Hopeful Initiate is by double blocking, which is not great because they lose their better guy in that exchange. And they're still taking 6 if that's the case. This is bad if they have another unsummon, which is quite likely. There are a great many unsummons in this format. Alright, Fleeting Distraction. This lets them block with a 3/3. Actually, this lets them double block much better, and I can only kill the Mist Raven if they do. Alright, they do not double block. Think of them as fun summons. I don't think that's how that works. Opponent plays a Mausoleum Wanderer. Alright. We have like one instant and and sorcery in the deck, don't we? We do not have that many. I think it's like Hunger of the Howl Pack, and that's about it. Okay, we draw planes. So, play planes. Go to combat. Fun summons. Attack for a lot. They got a block. This is lethal. I mean, they could have like an unsummon. Or a fun summon. I'm going to double block there. I think in that case we kill the 3/3. Opponent takes 6 and goes to 3. Ghostly Flicker. They're going to blink both of those. So they can bounce the Trusted Force Mage, which is actually pretty bad for us. And they can exploit Mistraven to get back that Ghostly Flicker. That's a great combo. Oh, they exploit Mausoleum Wanderer to get back Ghostly Flicker. That's disgusting. Alright. So second main. Play a Hound Tamer. And Force Mage. We'll Soul Bond to the Hound Tamer. It's looking like a loop, to be completely honest. Yes. Yes, this is all innistrads. Oh, there is a 3-mana Smite the Monstrous. And it's actually just Smite the Monstrous. And there's no writing text. I thought there was a sorcery one. There's a sorcery one that's exile in another format, but all right. Can't say I'm too thrilled about this. And opponent passes, leaving up a Ghostly Flicker. We draw a forest. So play a forest. Play Sigardian Paladin. We will Soul Bond. Go to combat. And attack for 6. So they're going to block and Ghostly Flicker, I imagine. Okay, so they block and block. Here comes the Flicker. Opponent's like, turn off auto yields. Opponent only going to flicker the Raven. Oh, Raven and a land. That's interesting. They're not flickering the Scob. They're going to bounce the Paladin. So we'll give this guy Trample and Lifelink, so they do take the damage. We lose our Force Mage, though, which is pretty unfortunate. Okay, opponent untaps. They go to combat and attack for 5. That's not a good sign for me, I think. Jackad7, thank you for following. I greatly appreciate it. You're a wonderful human being. 6 or 7 mana. 6 mana for Relentless Scobs. It's a 5 mana 4/4 with Undying. Alright. We draw Unruly Mob. So play Unruly Mob. Play Sigardian Paladin. Pass the turn. No attacks. Opponent untaps. They draw. Fiend Hunter? That's pretty good. They take away the initiate from us. They claustrophobia? Oh my gosh. We got the early advantage, but... Mechanics doesn't need to communicate well when you have Fiend Hunter. We draw a Hinterland Logger. So play Dawnheart Disciple, play the Logger, and pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat, attacks for 2, we'll take 2. Go to 7. Project 1010 Unruly Mob. Yeah, but we aren't there yet. Pass the turn. Hinterland Logger gonna flip into a 4/2. Goes to combat. Attacks for... Pocket Yuff, I don't understand. It doesn't have reach. Neither side has reach. Alright. We untap. We draw nothing. Pass the turn. Opponent sacks a clue to draw. They untap. What are my plans for Thanksgiving and streams for next week? Oh my god, Thanksgiving's next week. So I should stream normally on Wednesday. I do Thanksgiving I do get off. So, I don't know what I'm going to do that day, actually. I have no idea what my Thanksgiving plans are, but I don't think I'm going to stream on Thanksgiving. They attack us for 2, we go to 3. Okay, Timber Shredder flips back around. We draw Candle Grove Witch, which does nothing. So we gotta concede. In honor of football, you should stream a punt fest on Thanksgiving. I don't think I'll be doing that. I need to start, like, getting clips for a punt compilation. Oh, no, I don't have anything special for a Wednesday stream or anything like that. I don't have anything special for Wednesday, so... Are you sure it's not the one where I time warp my opponent? So I think that one might be better. Probably, yeah. Oh, jeez. Is that frozen? Okay, no, it's not frozen. I did not get any plummets, unfortunately. Definitely would have brought out a plummet for this matchup. Let's get a Champion of the Parish start. Oh, man. All right. I would like to play first. This would be amazing if we had a Plains, but we don't. All right, Champion of the Parish start. Let's go. And we got Hopeful Initiate, too. I'm going to put back a Forest. Go get him. Opponent leads on an island. We draw Unruly Mob. I'm going to go with Hinterland Logger here. Technically, Unruly Mob gives me like the best chance of drawing a land to play both, but Hinterland Logger, if they don't play something, is going to be much, much more of a threat this turn. Champion in hand, no Plains. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Alright, let's play a Hopeful Initiate, get a 1-1 counter. Play an Unruly Mob, get a 1-1 counter, go to combat, hit him for 4. That's pretty good. 4 spells by turn 3, and if we draw a land, we have a really good follow-up. It would have been absolutely hysterical if you'd called that, because that was my fear. I just didn't say it out loud. Claustrophobia. Well, it's a good thing I have this Hopeful Initiate. We draw Sigardian Paladin. Actually, turn off auto yields. Attack here and here. Training. Opponent is going to trade. That's fine. Counter on Unruly Mob. Pass the turn. Opponent draws. They play a Shipwreck Sifter. And they loot. Ditching Stormbound Geist to put a 1-1 counter on the Sifter. Can we get a turn off auto yields compilation? I do not have the time to go back and find all the footage for that. If you want to make that a community project, I mean, that would be sick, but... Alright, we untap. We draw planes. So play a planes. Play Sigardian Paladin. 1/1 counter on the champion. Go to combat. And attack for 7. Onboard Naturalize is pretty good. Fleeting Distraction. Alright, so they can block there to prevent 2 damage, but they're still taking 4. And next turn we have an Equestrian skill coming up. And that Sigardian Paladin's going to have lifelink and trample because of the training trigger, which is great. Absolutely great. Opponent plays a land. They got to have something pretty good here. Not sure what it could be. Engulf the Shore doesn't do it because they don't have enough islands. And I don't even know if they haven't engulfed the Shore. That's just the only board wipe I know. My luck is they would Miracle a Terminus. So they Sun Gold Barrage to put a 1/1 counter on Unruly Mob. Forgets to yield, causes game-losing results. That's generally what happens, yes. We draw Somberwald Stag. So, Equestrian skill, the Unruly Mob. We're going to put the entire mob on horseback. Go to combat. Attack for a lot. They block one of the 4 power creatures, they take 9. They block the 5/5, they take more than 9. Alright, we win the match. And now it is time for me to restart the client. I think I'm going to be done after this league. So there won't be any marbles tonight, unfortunately. I'm too tired to have my high energy shoutcasting. Extra, read all about it. Kano too tired to shout about balls. Details at 11. Oh, prediction. I forgot I put up a prediction. One person believed. You get your points back. Since nobody's betting, everybody's tired, I won't do any more predictions tonight. That's fine. Unless, of course... Okay. Cool. Here we go. Round 2. Second match. Second league. This person is triple queuing? Alright. We'll keep. Opponent starts a mountain. We draw a Trusted Force Mage. Play a plains. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain into a blood-crazed neonate. Play plains. Play Candlegrove Witch. Pass the turn. I will trade if they attack. They have removal. So it looks like they're going for massive tempo, which is a problem. Take 2. That one gets a counter. We'll play the Force Mage. Pass the turn. I don't really want to block, but I'm probably going to have to. Okay, opponent plays a Reckless Impulse, getting a Senseless Rage and a Briarbridge Tracker. And they have Incendiary Flow, so opponent's just playing absurd tempo. There's not a lot I can draw to come back from this at this point. Yeah. Play Village Bellringer. And put Radiant Grace on the Bellringer. That stops the wolf from attacking, but... Oh, we didn't, I didn't open a prediction for this one. Never mind. It does not stop the wolf from attacking, so I'm just going to concede. There's way too much early game snowball there. That deck is crazy. Or has the potential to be crazy anyway. Run it back. Alright, I will want to play first. Unfortunately, this hand is not good. This hand is better. I'm going to put back Prey Upon because I'm going to need all these lands. Play a forest. Pass the turn. Tarek timed out again. Oh my gosh. We draw Unruly Mob. So play Unruly Mob. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest into a Nightshade Peddler. We draw a Hinterland Logger. Play a Hound Tamer. Pass the turn. I mean, if they just immediately Soul Bond for Death Touch, it's probably an issue. Incendiary Flow exiles. It does not kill. Take one. We untap. We draw Dawnheart Disciple. So play the Disciple. Play the Logger. Go to combat and attack for one. Good night, Sissia. Thanks for tuning in. It was good to have you. 3 mana for the opponent. They play Conduit of Storms. They have Death Touch now. Do you really want to make a prediction that puts the power in Sigma's hands to complete it? I don't think you do. So we get our Timber Shredder. So the Galvanic Bombardment, the Logger, which puts a 1/1 counter on the Unruly Mob. They then attack with Conduit of Storms. You trust Sigma to be honorable? I trust you to lose that bet. But it plays a Harvesttide Assailant. It's a 4/4. We draw Champion of the Parish. So play Champion. Counter on Dawnheart. Go to combat. And attack for 3. Opponent takes 3. They go to 16. They play a Voldaren Duelist, and they're going to say a creature can't block this turn. Oh, man. I got to block with Unruly Mob. And I think it's got to be the Death Touch guy, because I need to land this Ulvenwald Hydra and hope my opponent doesn't have an answer to it. I'm going to time out anybody that lies to that question. I want you to know. Play Elvenwald Hydra. We've got a 7/7 now. Get a forest. Pass the turn. Watch my opponent have a rack with madness and just kill the 7/7. Opponent plays a Bird Admirer. Are you winning, son? No, it doesn't feel like it. We draw Prey Upon.
Sigma, if you keep putting me in timeout, I might have to start calling you daddy.
Oh my. We're gonna fight. Just kill the potential biggest creature they have there. Then pass. Oh gosh. Put a plays a Senseless Rage. We untap and draw planes. Play the planes. Go to cup. Attack for 8. Excuse me. Opponent takes 8, goes to 8. They untap. Chump, block. Take 3. Go to 5. Am I gonna die to like a lava axe? Pretty sure there's a couple of 5 mana, 5 damage burn spells. Blood Crazed Neonate. And an Ulvenwald Bear. You realize how much money you're gonna make on your actual birthday with text-to-speech? I might increase the price. Because I don't want to listen to that constant. I might make it like $2. To slightly discourage. You know, if this gave trample to anything, I would win right here. Unfortunately, it only gives trample to humans. All right. Final round. Are you leaving? Well, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll keep this. We gotta really hope to draw lands, though. Opponent leads on Evolving Wilds. And it's Mountain. We draw Village Survivors. Play Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Plains. We draw Ironclad Slayer. Play Dawnheart Disciple. Pass the turn. If we draw a land, we're playing Hound Tamer. If we don't, playing Hinterland Logger. Attack for 3. They got 3 mana Goad on a stick. Slayer of the Wicked killing our Hinterland Logger. We take 2. We draw Hunger of the Howlpack, which is not beneficial. Pass the turn. Opponent has Dawnheart Disciple attack this turn. What? It makes it attack. It doesn't make it block. Although I should have blocked and put Hunger of the Howlpack on it to kill the stupid fiends. Oh my god. Kano can't read. We're going to discard Ironclad Slayer. Pass the turn. Have you considered drawing a land? Is there a solitaire of Magic that isn't goldfishing a modern deck? You could always build Zombie Tower. Or whatever it's called. Why are they doing that? It doesn't block. I mean, like, it's not forced to block. I'm still going to block. Alright, we untap. There we go. Play a Hound Tamer. Pass the turn. It's, Oh, Jackad's in the chat. Reading is hard. Alright. Kill it if you can. We untap. We draw Prey Upon. And we pass turn. Oh, I didn't realize I was playing against Jackad until last turn. You gotta ping something. So he pings his own creature. Control 4 more creatures. This becomes Hanweir Militia Captain. We take 2. We draw planes. Play a planes. And play Bellringer. I'm going to Prey Upon the 1/1. I need to do anything I can right now to reclaim board presence. Yeah, I know, right? Opponent plays Arm the Cathars. And now I must block or die. I really need to draw a land. It is not a land. Alright, place a Guardian Paladin. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Stonewright. And they pair Heckling Fiends. Which means I need to block Heckling Fiends. Otherwise I die to Fire Breathing. I need to draw a land or I can't actually win. Get out of here with your erotic roleplay. All right. And I don't draw a land. Oh my god. Yes, this is Chaos Draft across all Innistrad blocks. If I drew a land, I could Hunger of the Howlpact onto Sigardian Paladin, gained a bunch of life, and we'd have been fine. Oh my god. You're hating the new Innistrad? Why do you hate the new Innistrad? I love it. And I've played since the original. Oh, you're a lore person? What about the lore do you dislike? Because I will admit, I have not read the lore for either of the new sets. I stopped paying attention to lore after War of the Spark, basically. They just poofed all of the Eldrazi out of existence and retconned the entire plane. Oh, you're talking about with Emrakul? I can tell you that the Celestis, the whole, like, what you're seeing in Midnight Hunt is a direct result of Emrakul being in the moon. Like, she's what's throwing the, she was like what's throwing the day-night cycle out of whack. But if you're talking about, like, oh yeah, all of the Eldrazi horror just randomly disappeared from the plane, that part of it's kind of lame. What's that? Lead on a forest, pass the turn. Opponent leads on Evolving Wilds. Ormadal was confirmed to be turned into an Eldrazi. Is he an Eldrazi demon? Was it a concept art, or is it, like, actually what he looks like now? Oh, I mean, like, so when the Eldrazi were locked up the first time, their influence disappeared from the plane as well. So, like, that is in line with yeah, no, like, when the Eldrazi were locked up, there were statues of them, but that's not them. And I'm talking about when Nahiri locked them up. And the reason that the plane... Yes, because she hadn't left the plane yet. No, she hadn't left the plane yet. That one spawn of Emrakul, you are correct, because that bothered me too. She did not leave the plane yet. She just hadn't been seen. Can't attack or block. That's annoying. Let's play Fiendbinder. I also distinctly remember reading something that they might be able to touch multiple planes at once. Because all of the minor Eldrazi are just extensions of the major Eldrazi. Alright, we untap. I thought you were going to talk about how the fact that through the power of friendship and magic they killed the other two Eldrazi, not Emrakul, because that's the part of the story I have a problem with. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Tap Afflicted Deserter. Because it's interesting, because, like, if that's the case, then you and I have completely different opinions on which part of the story is the bad part. But I want to hear what you have to say about that. So, like, what did you hear about it that, like, made it more acceptable? Okay. Okay. Well, what did you hear about it that made it acceptable then? That made it okay. Abandon Reason. Alright, so we're going to lose our trusted Force Mage here. Hunger the Halpak. Increase the size of Fiendbinder. Draw Ulvenwald Hydra. Attack for 6. Tap a creature. Okay, yeah, that part makes sense. Opponent plays a Lunarch Veteran. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, like, if you want to kill the Eldrazi, that makes sense. The part where I have a problem with that is the fact that 3 or 4 Old Walkers didn't do that. That's where I have a problem with that. Because the Old Walkers, Ugin, Nahiri, and Sorin were literally gods. Ugin refused to allow it. Well, okay. Okay. So, that's also fair. And you can, like, I'm cool with that. But, because I remember that being a part of the story. But the problem that I have with that is the fact that they didn't, like, because one of the reasons that Ugin said he didn't want to kill them was the fact that he can't understand the consequences of doing so. Like, they don't know what the Eldrazi are or if they serve a natural purpose in some way or not. So he didn't want to kill them because he was like, that might upset some balance in the multiverse somewhere, right? Except for the fact, like, they didn't have any consequences for killing them. There were 0 consequences for killing the Eldrazi. And I thought that's where they were going to go when they went to Kaladesh with Aether Revolt. Like, oh, this energy that's being released out of, like, a crack in the multiverse or whatever. I was like, oh, that's going to start disappearing. Or something like that. Nope, turns out completely, it's not relevant. So that's that part of that story that I dislike. And I guess that's fair. And I guess that makes it okay, which is what I asked you about. So I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't like it, but it does make it better. I think you're right in that regard. In terms of the Emrakul thing, though, I'm fine with that. I think that was an excellent end to, like, a Lovecraftian horror situation. Play a Force Mage. Counter on Paladin. How long till we have a surgical effect for the sideboard? 5 years over or under? If they keep making sideboard touching mechanics, it will have to be sooner rather than later. Okay, but, like, the thing is, was Ormondal ever an Eldrazi on screen, or was it a concept? Because if it was a concept, did he show up as an Eldrazi demon anywhere in the story? I don't know about the art books. I have never read one, so I don't know if they're canon or not canon or anything like that. Okay, if he didn't show up on screen, it's possible that was just like a concept or something. So if you want to be mad about a retcon, I understand that. That makes sense to me. Um, okay, opponent chumps and chumps. So we lose some life. They gain life. Play Hopeful Initiate. Pass the turn. And they scoop. So now I understand what has upset you. And I agree. Because, like, when they come up with a really cool concept and decide not to use it, or just kind of, like, it didn't actually happen or was removed by relative fiat, that is a lame way to tell a story. Especially when there was an idea that was cool. So, like, regardless of whether or not it was canon, I can see that being frustrating. But hey, in this discussion, you have made me more okay with the end of Battle for Zendikar. So... I mean, I'm okay with them disappearing, but... Do you have the beard in real life? Nah, man, I put this on before I stream. you figured it out. Oh. How did you know? Thesis research, how did you guess? I put down layers and layers of misdirection. Well, like, if Emrakul sealed herself in the moon, and the minor Eldrazi are, extensions of the major Eldrazi, I could totally see them disappearing if Emrakul touching them and warping their biology incorporated them into herself as extensions of her physical form. Like reaching in from the outside. Reaching in from the blind eternities or whatever. Like, I'm okay with them disappearing. I'm also not super well versed on that. So... Well, we won our entry back. I can't, Jackhead, I can't see your message, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Thanks, Tarek. So, I think that part's a little nebulous, because there's no explanation as to whether or not they can touch separate planes. That was brought up as a possibility. So, I think the spawn being left behind on Zendikar was, like, basically Emrakul keeping one tendril touching Zendikar while being on a different plane. And I think that resolves the whole Eldrazi disappearing issue. If that is an acceptable bit of knowledge. But this is what happens when you have multiple writers and a complex backstory. But I appreciate the enlightenment, because that does help me make a little bit better sense of the ending of Battle for Zendikar. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. You're all wonderful human beings, and I really appreciate all of the subs, anonymous donor. I greatly appreciate those. Sissia and Tarek, thank you for the bits. Jackhead, thank you for following. And I will wish you all a good night. Bye.